Hi folks, and welcome to the Week 7 module. This week you're going to be completing your second Gateway assignment, which is your first annotated bibliography. Remember, there are 2 annotated bibliographies, and the only reason for this is because each one requires you to find 5 sources. So rather than have you work to complete a 10-source annotated bibliography all at once, we broke it into 2 pieces. So this week you have a Moodle book. This one introduces you to annotated bibliographies. It explains what an annotated bibliography is, why we do them, what they look like, and it provides you with some additional resources for creating annotated bibs. So it tells you what an annotated bibliography is, it explains why we do annotated bibliographies, it tells you what they look like and gives you a sample citation, and then it provides you with a list of additional resources for creating annotated bibliographies. Pretty straightforward and a short read, so do make sure you go through that, as well as the additional resources that are listed there in the book. I've also provided you with a More Help with Annotated Bibliographies page, which will link you to some articles which you may find useful while creating annotated bibliographies this week and next week. This one in particular may be helpful as it gives you a very detailed and labeled example of an annotated bibliography. Once you've read about annotated bibliographies, it's time to do your research and locate 5 articles that you want to use for your annotated bibliography. Remember, the more articles you find that you plan to use in your final paper, the easier your life is going to be later on. You won't have to be locating articles while you're attempting to outline, draft, and revise your final paper. So, let's take a look at the assignment sheet. The first annotated bibliography requires you to locate 5 academic articles from the MMCC library databases. Remember, we're not locating from Google searches, blogs, magazines, newspapers, .coms, textbooks, etc. The articles should all focus on the problem or issue that you outlined in your research proposal and that you plan to discuss in your final paper. You're then going to write up a detailed annotated bibliography. You can use up to 2 of the sources you found for the academic article exploration activities, but you must find at least 3 completely new sources. Now, an annotated bibliography is a list of citations. Each entry is followed by a summary paragraph and an evaluative paragraph. They are alphabetized by the first word in the entry, and then here's some advice for what to do if you have 2 articles by authors with the same last name, or if you have 2 articles by the same author. This is a very important thing to remember. In this course, regardless of your chosen documentation style, page ranges are required. Any source without page ranges is not counted towards your required 6 articles that are a minimum of 10 full pages, simply because without page ranges, I don't know how long the article is. So, it's very, very important that you are including page ranges. You do have a sample annotated bibliography on the Moodle shell, and it's important to note that each entry should be no less than 100 words for each paragraph, so 200 words total, and 1,000 words total for the entire document. This is not including your citations, so it's 100 words for each summary, 100 words for each analysis, 200 words total. Here's some information about annotated bibliographies. What's important here is to note that under no circumstances should you ever copy and paste an abstract for an article into an annotated bibliography, as it's plagiarism and will result in a score of 0 and unacceptable on your annotated bibliography, and you'll be required to revise the assignment before you can progress further in the course. Here are your assignment steps, and then of course the rubric as always. Do remember this is a Gateway assignment, so if you receive an unacceptable or do not submit this assignment, you will need to revise before moving forward in the course. Your sample annotated bibliography is right here to help you. And just as a reminder, no part of this, including the sources, should ever be used for your own assignments. Again, because most of the time they are made up and they don't actually exist. So here's a sample annotated bib for you to take a look at. Many of the articles I've linked you to in both the Moodle book and that additional help with annotated bibliographies document have samples as well for you to look at. And then your Dropbox is right here for you to submit your annotated bib when you are finished. If there's any questions or concerns, feel free to contact me via email or stop by office hours. And otherwise, I will talk to you in the Week 8 video. Have a wonderful week.